And this is where heart coherence really comes in. Because if we can create what I call islands of sanity and sanctuary, and sanctity, right? Sanctity, reverence, where we can create that, and we can have these little islands, these beacons, these lifeboats of coherence, that the learning can come through. And this can be beamed, right? It's the resonance and the morphic resonance. These can be connected and beamed across our world. And it's happening, Thomas, with the work you're doing. It's happening in many corners of the world, right? And the global majority world they know a lot about creating lifeboats of coherence. The Jewish people know a lot about creating a lifeboat, because people who have been in this extreme weather, let's call it, right, who've really suffered and struggled, and know how to rise from that, know how to reintegrate and take the learning on. And of course, it's not been perfect. Of course, it's ongoing. And of course, there's still frozen parts. But I think we have so much information in the great field of life on Earth right now that just needs a little bit more connecting. And we're ready to shift this paradigm, So that's, yeah.
Skeena, thank you. And I again to add, because I share that confidence actually that this is really possible. What I've been learning from Skeena with what she's bringing through on a co-liberation framework, and I think to say more to your question, Thomas, that is to relearn how to listen to what's in our bodies as if there's information there. So at an individual intra level, okay, what do I need to listen to? Because that gets shut down, obviously. And then when we're operating within groups, when that feeling's running, to be able to stop and to have some ways to work with that. Skeena's been bringing through various practices that can help bring coherence back to a group, and also to then be able to think about systemic agreement. So, for example, if a group's noticing that use a crude example, the men are doing more talking than the women, then let's make an agreement about how often the women talk, or do the women talk, well, you know what I mean, that kind of thing, right? So that's in the co-liberation framework. So there's some things about that, what you're saying, the trauma body, when it's given us information, if that was then get us to do something positive rather than just for us to go into it or to not recognize it's there, if it would go, oh, I'm feeling something, oh, it's because this is happening, oh, and we made that systemic agreement, right? So what the co-liberation work, and correct me if I'm wrong, Skeena, but is trying to bring forwards those defense mechanisms in service to collective action. And what we're doing with the Being the Change work then is to think, how does this work globally? Because we know that nature acts as a fractal. And so what's happening in the body, we have this immune response within the body, we have the way that groups operate and so on. This paradigm is operating at a global level. So what would it mean if we could globally sense harm and react in a defense move? What would we need to have created for that to be possible? And the way we say it is obviously we're reclaiming much knowledge here in order to do that. And then it's firstly about relationship. And so what our XR International Solidarity Network co-leaders have been bringing through is this idea of glocalizing, is to make the links between what we do here to other parts of the world to repair the family. So if we're doing acts of repair here, whether it's regenerative agriculture or new forms of democracy or local economies or whatever it is, that we'll locally link to another 2 or 3 groups. And in that way, the human family starts to feel its connection, and we bring the family together. But through the work of repair, of creating these centres of coherence and sanity and sanctity.